Third, the individual experiences sleep problems such as insomnia or nightmares. Depressed individuals often suffer from insufficient sleep and have great difficulty falling asleep. They may stay in bed for hours without falling asleep. If they wake up during the night, they struggle to go back to sleep and face the same challenges as they did at the beginning of the night. However, in severe cases of depression, the depressed person usually wakes up 2 or 3 hours earlier and cannot return to sleep. Although they may have a little energy during that time, unfortunately, after 2 to 3 hours, they lose their energy. When others begin their day, these individuals have even less energy. As a result, many depressed individuals, if they wake up early in the morning, do not return to bed because they know their energy will not last beyond 2 or 3 hours. Nonetheless, these individuals struggle with sleep issues, lack of energy, and related problems in the afternoon and evening. Additionally, those who suffer from sleep issues tend to have lighter sleep and wake up easily at the slightest disturbance. But the main problem lies in dreaming. Light sleep makes individuals more likely to remember their dreams, and since more than 75% of our dreams are not pleasant, and for depressed individuals, this figure can exceed 90%. It is clear that remembering dreams or waking up because of them adds to the individual's difficulties. Furthermore, experiencing nightmares or waking up with obvious physical changes, such as increased heart rate, breathing, sweating, or twitching of the limbs during sleep, are additional signs that the person is suffering from depression. Typically, these 3 physical symptoms, energy, appetite, and sleep, are the primary and essential indicators that are almost always observed in depressed individuals, especially those with deep depression. Therefore, someone who is facing problems in these 3 areas is likely suffering from depression. If these 3 issues play a significant role in a person's life, they may be dealing with chronic depression, which, unfortunately, affects many people. I should add that about 10% of individuals with depression tend to sleep more, and their sleep duration increases. However, in most people, their sleep pattern becomes disrupted, and they struggle with sleep. Fourth, intense and heavy sadness. This sadness consumes the individual and fills their existence with a negative feeling of grief. As I mentioned earlier, in many cases, people who feel extremely sad believe they are depressed, while in reality, intense sadness is one of the significant symptoms of depression. Fifth, a lack of desire to engage in normal routine activities such as bathing, going to work or school, or even engaging in previously enjoyable activities. Someone who once enjoyed going to parties or had an interest in shopping now has no desire for these activities. Therefore, the 5th symptom of depression is the loss of desire and ability to engage in normal routine activities. 6th, a feeling of helplessness. In this state, the individual becomes ignorant and incapable, even regarding simple routine tasks. They feel that they cannot accomplish anything and believe that all their efforts are in vain and that nothing will change in any way anywhere. They interpret even the smallest no or negative response as a final, definitive, and permanent answer, viewing the world as severely limited and any possibility of change as impossible. Therefore, they become entangled in their own problems and feel incapable of solving them. This feeling of helplessness, according to some specialists, is the essence of depression. Some even define depression as the learned helplessness that results from this mindset. Thus, it plays a significant role in diagnosing depression. The 7th sign, closely related to the previous one, is hopelessness. The individual also feels regret and remorse for all the lost opportunities and possibilities. Therefore, a depressed person is someone who has lost hope for the future. In their view, the sky has suddenly fallen, the world's light, the sun, has gone out, and darkness and narrowness have engulfed their world. 8th, the individual struggles with mental activities. Their mind, even in feeling and sensing good emotions, not just negative ones, faces many challenges when it comes to thinking, reasoning, and contemplation. Suddenly, they realize that they cannot follow through with a train of thought or reach a conclusion. They lose the ability to interpret and deduce. When they even approach comparison and evaluation, they suddenly feel paralyzed. They develop a mind that halts in the middle of any activity and becomes fragmented. They feel distanced from the order and capability they once had in this area. Thus, depression confronts the individual with difficulties in thinking and reasoning. On one hand, they lose the ability, and on the other, they abandon discussions and thoughts midway, either within their own mind or during conversations with others, and are forced to draw conclusions that are not aligned with reality, which creates further problems. The ninth issue, a continuation of the previous one, is that their mental processes, if they can even be called thinking, take a negative direction. They focus on the negative aspects of every event. For example, they associate the birth of a child with thoughts of their eventual death, or link the love between two people with thoughts of war and separation. Not only do they have negative thoughts, but they also concentrate on the negative aspects of any situation. For instance, when someone buys a new car, they imagine that the insurance costs will be higher or that the car is more likely to be stolen. They are constantly seeking something that they can connect to a negative outcome. As a result, they do not look for the good in things. Instead, they search for the bad, and of course, whatever we look for, we usually end up finding. Consequently, a depressed person, through their negative mental activity, creates more negative emotions and feelings within themselves. 10th, the loss of attention and concentration. This means that attention and concentration, which are essential for a person to reach conclusions in their mind, and also necessary for the proper and timely use of energy, are disrupted. Their attention and concentration, which are considered their mental energy, are wasted. They focus on unimportant matters and avoid the important issues in life. Thus, they lose their focus and attention. If they pay attention to someone, after a while, they no longer listen to them. If they read a book, their reading consists merely of eye movements. Their scattered thoughts make them both tired and unable to reach any conclusions in this area. The 11th issue is the individual's difficulty with learning and education. They struggle to learn material as easily as others. When they try to memorize something, it does not stay in their mind. When they attempt to recall something, even though they have encountered it multiple times, it escapes their conscious memory. This causes them to face numerous memory challenges, especially with short-term memory. They may not remember what they did today or yesterday, even though their mind retains some relative ability when it comes to distant memories. However, their short-term or recent memory becomes completely disrupted to the extent that, similar to anxiety, depression dries up the ink of memory and prevents the proper recording of information in the mind. 12th, indecisiveness and hesitation, resulting in difficulty making decisions. Simple tasks or unimportant decisions become major issues for them. Sometimes, they even struggle with choosing clothes or food, even though they have no issue with the overall context. When these individuals find themselves in situations where they need to make choices, they become completely stuck. Not only do they face deeper depression, but they also experience severe anxiety and distress in this regard.